Good morning, Carl Bogar here with Historic Military Impressions and Kenosha Military Surplus, your premier provider of museum quality exhibits to add value to public events, as well as authentic military issue surplus. This video is about a new addition we added to the collection in the form of a rifle. Recently we got ourselves a Remington Lebel. The Remington Lebel rifles, the model 1907-15, were made by Remington in the United States for France for World War I. However, Remington was incapable of meeting the obligations of the contract, so the contract was expired prematurely. So most Remingtons today, well, when they were made, they were sent to France, and if they were approved and accepted, they were basically then serial numbered there, and the stampings would be finished up in France. So most of them you will find that are either serialized with the French serial numbers, or they are not serialized at all. And if they are not serialized, generally speaking, you find them sporterized or in pristine condition. This one has been used. From my understanding, the history is a gun dealer had it for many years, took it completely apart, and was going to redo it, but unfortunately passed away before that ever happened. So the gentleman that I got it from basically acquired it, put it all back together. He had it for many years, decided to sell it to us. The history of these particular rifles is that there's another example, rifle number 78, that belonged to Henry Johnson. Henry Johnson served with the Rough Riders, who was under French command, and had a rifle very similar to this, Remington 3-shot Lebel, that recently was verified to be his a couple years ago, sold at auction. This one is rifle number 88. So all the provenance we have on it indicates that this would have been used by the Harlem Hell-fighters fighting in France. So, and I'll show you in the video the one that sold for Rock Island Auctions, the tag that came with that, and you can see a comparison of how the serial numbers were stamped on them. Now, like I said, you never buy a story. However, the history of this one and how it is stamped with the verified history of the one that sold at auction and how they were serialized give it credibility, and for what I paid for it, it was worth it. One of the last exhibits that we would like to develop, the last one we developed was Hiding in Plain Sight, the full integration of history of women in warfare. The next one, the last key exhibit that I would love to develop will be dedicated to the African American soldier experience. African Americans have fought in all American wars from the American Revolution forward and have always distinguished themselves above and beyond. And what I can tell you is, I know when I was going to graduate school, we were reading some memoirs written by World War I Harlem Hell-fighters, from their memoirs talking about how they had to, because they were a New York National Guard unit, actually had to do a fundraiser to buy their own rifles. And what they bought were the Lebel rifles, because at the time, the contract was prematurely terminated. Remington had a lot of rifles underhand with nobody wanting to buy them, so they were a cost-efficient rifle for the Harlem Hell-fighters to be able to buy, to have rifles in an armory to be able to then go to Europe and fight with. And we know that by the time the Harlem Hell-fighters got there, the French Lebel rifles, including the earlier Remington ones, were converted to 5-round magazines, where the Harlem Hell-fighters still were serving with 3-round little stripper clips for their Lebels, and this is a 3-round rifle magazine. So very happy to get it. Whether its provenance is true or not, kind of irrelevant, because they're rare rifles to find, and I was very happy to have the bayonet for it. Most of these were cut down in World War II, whereas this one had not been cut down, and it goes on nicely. It's a good rifle. Looking forward to hopefully acquiring more authentic artifacts that were used. Obviously, World War II gets a little bit easier. After that, it gets a lot easier after integration occurred in 1947. But World War I and earlier, to find things that were known to be authentic, used by colored troops, African-American troops, extremely rare. So again, take the bayonet off. This is our newest edition. Again, the Remington Lebel model 1907/15 service rifle that we believed was used by the Harlem Hell-fighters based on how its serial number is on it, and provenance to another rifle that sold at auction that was known to be used by a Harlem Hell-fighter, specifically a Medal of Honor recipient, Sergeant Johnson. So Carl Bogar signing off for Kenosha Military Surplus and Historic Military Impressions. I hope you guys have a great Christmas. Thank you for watching our videos. And as always, please like, share, subscribe. And if you always want to leave a comment, please do so. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.